Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cancer YouTubers Updates. We heard from everybody this week, pretty much, so we better get started. Okay, let's start today with Purple Phoenix, Living with Cancer, My Journey. I don't know why I can't remember names, but that's kind of a long one. So, Michelle posted last weekend, and I kind of missed it because it was after I uploaded, obviously. So, I did want to mention that she found out that her dad's death certificate actually had the wrong social security number on it. Now, you know what a pain in the butt that can be to get straightened out. All that red tape. And on top of Michelle's health, her issues, they wanted her to travel like 2 hours each way to get it straightened out. So at some point, they decided they could do it on the phone. Thank goodness. I don't know why life has to be so hard. I understand security and all, but in this day and age of verification codes and email and scanning things, documents, I just don't see the need for us to leave the house anymore. But I'm glad that that was taken care of because Michelle has enough headaches. On the health front, she's actually having a lot of back pain. And her hospice nurse said this can be a sign of progressing cancer, maybe tumors that are growing. Michelle keeps going though. She's landscaping. She's putting the house together. She's, she's doing stuff that would hurt your back. And I think the hospice nurse is giving her a little bit of the side eye about that because she wants her in no pain at all. And I guess that would mean not moving, and that's just not going to happen. I mean, that I wouldn't do that either. I may not landscape, but we're here to live and we want to be active, right? I don't think that Michelle is anywhere near needing to sit still. But maybe she should slow down just a little bit. It's her call. Michelle also gives us a tour of her house, and I really enjoyed that tour. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing. She does the whole downstairs, all the pictures on the walls, all the paintings on the walls, and all the furniture, all the things her dad made. And we also got a little tour of the property as well, just part of it. And it looks like a beautiful place. Michelle, I hope that you're very happy there. Next up, let's talk about our other Michelle from Big Valley Living. Where we left off last week, Michelle was still suffering from a lot of fluid in her abdomen called ascites. And it's very thick, and it was really hard for them to get out. In fact, they really didn't get much. So she did go in for another appointment, and they were much more successful. They got over 2 liters of fluid because they used a bigger drain or bigger hose. I don't know why they didn't do that the first time, but it was very interesting to hear about the paracentesis treatment. And Michelle is going to keep the appointment that she has with the surgeon just in case it happens to come to that at some point. For a lot of people, ascites buildup just continues and drainage is necessary on a regular basis. Michelle plans to keep a standing date every 5 or 6 weeks to have the paracentesis done. And she really liked the team that she ended up having this time around, so she's hoping to be able to schedule, or coordinate an appointment to see them specifically. I think second to health, having a good health care team is so important. And it just can make all the difference in your lifestyle, and having people in your life that you trust. It's just paramount. When you know, you know. She goes on to talk about how blessed she feels considering the advanced stages of her cancer, and that she's still here. And like me, did not expect to be here. But I mean, she looks like she feels good, and she does say her treatments are going well. In fact, there was some good news last week about her PET scan coming out really well. And she seems to have a lot to celebrate. Michelle also started to wear a little bit of makeup for the camera because she said it makes her feel better. I've told you this many times, like you get up and you have to make an effort. It may not be makeup. It could be something very different that makes you feel good about who you are. But whatever it is, you should do it because it's hard enough to get through the day sometimes. But I know when I do something for myself as far as self-care, I just feel better and things turn out differently over the course of the day than maybe they would have if I just kept the covers over my head, obviously. But whatever it is that makes you feel better, it can go a long way. Then we had a second video, an update on Michelle's recent visit to the oncologist. And while she did cover her PET scan in the last video, good news always bears repeating. Her oncologist confirms that her PET scan results were exactly what they were hoping for. But I'll let Michelle update you on that because she has all the details and she's got a lot more to add about that conversation. And these details led her to rethink her diet and her exercise. And she's been thinking about that for a while. And she does try to take care of herself. I mean, cans food and all that stuff. And she's wanting to focus on lowering her sugars and her meat intake. I think a lot of people have their own ideas about cancer and diet. Some people think the carnivore diet is best. Other people think it should be a plant-based diet. We can all agree that sugar needs to be lowered because cancer really feeds on that. And I'm planning to talk more about that, but I'm hoping Michelle will too. I'm hoping she'll cover more about her food intake, what she's eating, and what she's doing to take better care of herself. She also talks about how only having one more physical therapy appointment left. And of course, I hope that it has helped and that she can keep that up with home exercises. So go see Michelle at Big Valley Living so you can catch up. Next up, let's talk about daily Kenji. This week, Kenji was in the park again with his parents, and they were getting ready to have a Korean kimchi cookout. And it was a lovely day. Kenji's sitting in a camp chair while parents are cooking, and I'm thinking, don't you cook? And in the video, he does mention he is not a good cook, but he helps out. So he just seemed in good spirits. I need to say that every time I talk about Kenji because we know he's been known to put some really downer attitudes out there, and who can blame him? But we always love to see him when he's happy. He had his second lung ablation, and he seems to be doing well. There were no complications this time, thank goodness. So it probably will get easier for him to not be so nervous, I guess, next time. I think he might have 2 more to go. I'm not really sure. But apparently it was another successful one. I'll let him give you all the details, as only Kenji can. He also talks about his current oral chemo regimen and the side effects, I guess the biggest being nausea. He seems to have a history with nausea that is a problem. It sounds like it might affect him more than other people, and Zofran, which I think is the very best, he doesn't react well to it. So I don't really know what his answers are, but he definitely should find some that work for him. Maybe it's something holistic. I don't know. I just hate to see people suffer. And then something surprising was that Kenji talks about going back to Vegas. I think it was going to happen the next day, so he's probably there now. I just seem to remember he didn't like the trip last time. Maybe that was just the hotel. He wasn't very comfortable in something that was supposed to be a 4-star, 5-star hotel. I'm not really sure, but hopefully he decided to do things a little differently, because why would you repeat a trip you didn't like? I don't know. All in all, though, it seems like Kenji's doing pretty well with his treatment so far. Can Ramblers. Steve is out walking again on Tuesday, and he's talking about his personal goals, and he's working on them. And that was the sleep, the diet, and the exercise. He seems to be doing pretty well with that. Last week, Steve had reported about Nancy's cold, and she can't seem to shake it. She says she's been feeling crummy, and even though they've raised her steroid medication, she's still having headaches and tremors. That's concerning. Steve is very worried about that, because it could be a sign of cancer growth or tumor growth. I really do hope that they can get that under control, because we know what's inevitable, but what Steve prays for the most is for Nancy not to suffer. And as a result, they had to cancel spa day, which I was really looking forward to, probably not as much as Nancy was, but hopefully they can reschedule that. In the meantime, they have decided they will make the high tea at home. The place that they were going to go to would probably be too small for Nancy's wheelchair. But I love high tea. I used to host high tea at church for a fundraiser, and everybody would make something and little tea sandwiches and things like that. I love high tea. What can I tell you? I don't know. I was probably British in another life, probably. So when that gets rescheduled, I'm here for it. What Nancy did do last week, though, was she went to Easter services. She was bound and determined no matter what. And she did good. She hadn't been to church physically for quite a while. And she got to see friends, and there are pictures that Steve posted. And, it was just a feel-good moment. You could see that she was really, really happy about going. And I'm really glad that she made that goal. But as Steve describes, she just wanted to go home and go to bed when it was done. So I'm sure that was a well-earned nap. Go see the videos. Steve and Nancy really appreciate the connections. On to Kim Clune. No real health updates for us this week, but she did put up a video that I think is worth a mention. Similar to the video that I put up, Kim talks about using words like strong and brave and warrior. It's not quite the same video that I made. Kim actually does a deeper dive into the situation, and I think she articulated it very well. And even though I put up a video, I'm still guilty of that. I have done that for a very long time, supporting others, thinking that, I'm doing the right thing, just pumping them up and letting them know how strong they are. But those labels, they can backfire for someone who feels a certain way about themselves too. So I'm going to let her explain that, because, well, like I said, she did it very well. But if you think you saw that video already, my video, it's definitely a little different. So please go see Kim's video. like it and share it. It's a conversation that should keep going. Okay, time for a big no-no, Noah Thomas. In the last video, Noah got fabulous news that his tumors were shrinking. Now, this wasn't really a health update either, but he shared the news with his parents. And, it was just a feel-good moment. This video call was filled with tears, so be sure that you bring your tissues. All the best in the next few rounds of treatment, Noah. Let's talk about Results Day for Tiffany Thinks. This video was about 7 minutes of complete stress, followed by good news. Everything is stable, and we're happy to hear that. Yay! But considering how stress is on the body, I would love to see a video where Tiffany's actually getting help for that. I'm happy that she finds true comfort in going to Mass, but it doesn't seem to last. I want to be as compassionate about this as possible because Tiffany has been through a lot, and there are people that don't like her, that are out to get her. I feel like if you don't like someone online, why are you watching them? Just let it go. I do feel she could use some professional help with her anxiety, either anxiety meds or meditation class, but definitely some professional counseling. Then I think maybe she should share some different content. I do enjoy her family vlogs, maybe more family dinners. Let all your family members talk to us, give them some airtime, or let me see what's in your fridge. I love a good tour when it comes to the refrigerator. Let me see what you're eating. I would like to just see her help herself. And that's all I'm going to say. Okay. I thought I got away with not talking about Eke Acres, but very last minute, just before I went to film this, there it was. And we need to talk about it. Kevin had just uploaded a video last night, late last night, I guess, that I never got to see because YouTube pulled it, citing their medical misinformation policy. So I got this snapshot from Kevin's video, and it is their response to him, and it says, content that spreads medical misinformation that contradicts health authorities' medical info about cancer treatment isn't allowed on YouTube. So the video that they pulled were actually about his home remedies, and which is why I call them Ivor and Fen. I never use the words, but at the same time, I'm not treating myself with that and sharing medical information. And I do get a little nervous about things I say, for sure, because even though I'm sharing someone else's journey, we say a lot of big words here. So while I didn't get to see that video, Kevin made sure there was a follow-up video. He is not a happy camper, but this is capitalism, and those are Google's policies. I know he's upset, he's angry. I don't think there are things that they put in place that are fair, but they have the right to run their business as they see fit. And guess who they're going to be most loyal to? It's not their content creators. It's going to be their advertisers. They're always going to be loyal to them first. They know who butters their bread. It's the health industry, it's the beauty industry, it's the food industry. But there are, for instance, in the health industry, there's a lot of medical companies that are not going to be happy with you getting up there and saying, this is a better product, that I can get over it Tractor Supply. It's not going to make money. It's not going to fly. Even if you have an illusion that we have freedom of speech, this is a company who's giving us this platform. And they have rules. Content creators are disposable. They're a dime a dozen. They come on board every day. The advertisers, though, they want to hold on to. In any case, I can certainly understand that kind of frustration. On a real medical note, Kevin has an appointment with the doctor to request the tests that he wants. And that appointment was supposed to happen tomorrow, which is actually yesterday in real time. So Friday, he had the appointment. And I'm sure we'll hear from him if we haven't already. So go over there and catch up. And okay, I'm going to leave it right there because I could say so much more, of course. But that's all I got this week. Love you all. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.